girl Victoria, back to you with another review for Couples Retreat Season 3, Episode 7, called All Fun and Games. So we're picking up where we left off last week, where Apollo was just like, Shireen ain't going nowhere. And then we have Tony in the confessional explaining, oh, he understands what he was trying to say. And no, Tony, let's not make excuses, okay? You, out of all these people, you should know, because you one of these mentors or whatever they want to call y'all in this thing. You one of the coaches. So let's call it for what it is. Okay, Apollo was sounding crazy. You knew he was sounding crazy, so that's why you was trying to do control damage in the confessional. No. We're not doing no control damage. He said what he said. He meant what he said. So we all know that Apollo's problematic. So let's not try to, make excuses for a grown-ass man. So nothing is resolved. Nothing really happens. They kind of just let bygones be bygones, and I guess they're gonna discuss it later. But for me, I'm just like, no, that was something that should have been dealt with. But I guess we're just going to put it, slide it under the rug until later or whatever the case may be. Okay, if you say so. But for me personally, I'm just like, if you're already talking like this and we're not going to rectify the situation, and instead of make excuses in the confessional, then that's part of the problem, Tony. Okay, my personal opinion. So next, to do the exercise where they pretend to be each other, is Fallon and Jalen. Nothing really comes of it, but they do agree to compromise because I guess they're both the chaser in regards to intimacy. So I guess one has to let go a little bit and the other one has to, I guess, be more aggressive. I don't know. They agree to compromise, and looks like she'd be happy throughout this whole episode, until we get to the Tony Rock situation. So Shamari is letting us know in the confessional that she's upset, which is that Ronnie was there to do the exercise with her. So this whole episode, she is upset. The whole last episode, she was upset. So she's just in a bitter mood this whole episode. So we're not really going to be focusing too much on her until probably the end of the episode and this recap and review. So then we move on to Jock and Kendra. They're next. I guess some revelations come from that, so that's good. And then we have them do another exercise where they throw water balls at an anger dagger, expressing what they hate about their significant other. So everyone takes a turn expressing different things that we already kind of know. So, okay, that's good. I hope they was able to release some stress and anger towards their significant other, but we already know it's going to come back. So then we get to Apollo. He has a one-on-one with AJ, and AJ is kind of confronting him, saying, he's not doing the exercise and advice that she told him to do in regards to being more open with his wife in regards to experience in jail. And he's acting like he was fine when he came back. He picked up where he left off. But for me, I'm very confused with him saying that with his one-on-one with AJ, when just, I believe, last episode or whichever episode he had the two-on-one with AJ, with him, Shireen, and AJ, I could have sworn he was saying, it's different from being in jail for so many years or quite a few years, coming back home to the point where he has to have his back to his wife when they're sleeping in bed. So it's like, you said one thing the other week or the other day, because I know this retreat is like a week span or whatever, to now saying, oh no, everything was fine and dandy when you came back. And I'm surprised AJ didn't pick up on that and call him out for that, unless she did and we're just not seeing on camera because the producers decide not to show it. But for blah 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 blah. But for me, I'm like, you're conflicting your stories, Apollo. So that's another thing. Tony, making excuses for you in the confessional, and then now AJ is just like looking over you being conflicting. So for me, I'm just kind of, I don't know what to take of you, Apollo. I feel like you're just saying whatever just to have the conversation go through, but for me it's like it's not a meaningful conversation. So other than that, we get to his kids. He gets emotional when he's talking about his kids and how he had to deal with being in jail and not being with his kids because one of his sons, he was with his son from the date of the son was born to the time he went to jail. So not being around him and next to him, seeing him, all that stuff did take a toll on him. So all right, at least we got somewhere. But you talking about you was in confinement. I always get like a brain fog when I'm in front of these lights. But solitary confinement. Okay, I think that's, yes. For like 100 days, and he was okay when he got out. Who are you fooling, Apollo? Yourself. That's it. You're fooling yourself. So, do we get anywhere with them? I don't think so. Not that I wrote down anything, so probably not. And then we're going to get to the next thing, which is the question of the week, which is, what do you think is the top thing that causes stress in a relationship? And do you think we have more stress inside a relationship or outside forces that causes our stress? We're going to move on. Nothing to take from that. We get to Shamari. She's still upset that Ronnie isn't here. She does a little video diary to let us know, Shamari, we know you upset, okay? Like, you upset about every damn thing. Like, are you ever happy? Because if you're not, then you don't need to be with homeboy. Because I'm tired of hearing you upset because of this or that. Because if it wasn't for him not being there, it's going to be because he's there and he's not doing this or not doing that. So it's always something you're upset with Ronnie about. So at this point, I do not care. Y'all been together too long for you not to know what you want to do with yourself. And I feel like what you want to do is probably not be in the relationship. But if you don't want to be in a relationship, don't be in a relationship. Don't be dragging a relationship that's hanging on a thread. Just let it go, please. So then we get to Chris and Breezy. They sit down to talk, over coffee about their ziplining experience, and they're proud how far their relationship have come, and they're enjoying themselves on this retreat. And they talk about kids. They already have a son, and they talk about having more kids, and they're already in the process for having more kids next year, which is cool. So everything is just easy breezy, lemon squeezy. We didn't need this scene producer. Like, we don't care. Like, they just gonna make everything seem like, it's just rainbows and unicorns and daisies and all that stuff. Okay, moving on. We then get to Ronnie. He does a video diary that he feels bad about leaving Shamari at the retreat, but duty calls. He don't say that word for word. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm just really trying to think, did you know you had extracurricular activities to do before this retreat, or did you book these when you already had your retreat booked? Because that's going to tell you all you need to know. If it was after the retreat was booked, I can understand why Shamari might be feeling some type of way. But if it was booked before the couple's retreat was booked, Shamari, what are we talking about here? You probably already knew about this, so you was already forewarned that he was going to leave for a couple days. But they don't ever specify that here, so I just have to guess. But I feel like with his little extracurricular activities in regards to his, entertaining things that he be having going on. I'm making it seem like it ain't nothing, but in all actuality, I feel like those things are booked way in advance before the retreat. So I'm just going to go based off of the fact that it was already booked before the retreat. So we shouldn't be acting surprised or upset knowing that he was going to leave when y'all booked the retreat in the first place. Anywho, Shireen and Apollo, they're working out, and I guess Shireen was done with the workout, and Apollo was proud of himself for not getting pissed at Shireen. And I'm just like, well, I guess congratulations, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, she should be congratulating you, not really you congratulating yourself, but okay, that's fine. So then Jock and Kendra, they come to join them so they could talk and discuss, because they're not working out. Jock got his sunglasses on inside. Kendra looking cute. Like, they're not there to work out. They're just there to talk and, see what's going on. So I guess they give them advice. Jock and Kendra give Apollo and Shireen advice. Okay. What was the advice you asked? I don't remember, because it wasn't that significant to write down. That should tell you all you need to know. So then we have Shireen. She asks about kids, and Kendra's not opposed to having kids, but she don't want to have kids right now. She still got her career going on. She don't want to have no baby in the office with her in the bassinet. So she says maybe 3-4 years down the line. And Jock was like, this is the first time I ever heard her say about that. But at the same time, he ready. Whenever she ready, he ready. So pretty much balls in your court, Kendra. So if you say you're gonna wait 3-4 years and you say you ready, you already know Jock got the super sperm or something, because every sperm he shoots, it practically lands. If the girl want to get pregnant, she gonna get pregnant. Pretty much. So whenever you're ready, Kendra, he's all the donor you need. One release is all it will take. Honestly, at this point. So other than that, we have Jock and Apollo kind of connecting in regards to fatherhood. And Shireen is impressed that Apollo's opening up and being so kind. Okay, that's great. for this moment. We'll see how it lasts once you guys get back home when there's no cameras and all that stuff. So good luck to you, Shireen. Then we get to Ronnie. He's on his way back to Las Vegas from California, so that's great. It's not that far, so he'll be there, in a couple hours or so. And then everyone, they go to the theater. So AJ and Tony comes on the stage. Fallon yells to AJ that she's having sex. That's great. Fallon, we understand you're happy that you're finally having sex. But you kind of sound like a schoolgirl. Okay? You don't have to let us know every time. Okay? We get it. You on a couples retreat. We expect you to have sex. Now, do you have to tell us? No, because for us, it just feels kind of like, okay, so are we, okay, she's excited. Okay, AJ doesn't, downplay her, down talk her. She's like, oh, that's good. I expect you to. Okay. But for me, I'm just like, all right, Fallon, can this be the last time? Because we really don't care. Like, I don't care to be a fly on your wall. Like, I feel like nothing's really happening in that room. So, good for you. But I'm gonna take my fly, me being a fly elsewhere. Anywho, so AJ introduces Tony Rock. He's gonna be there to roast the couples, and he goes down the list. Some people he didn't really jabber too much. Other people he did. When we got to Fallon and Jalen, he called Fallon Stella. Fallon says, F you, MFer, blah, blah, blah. My name is Fallon, MFer. So Tony's like, okay, Stella. So Fallon gets annoyed, and of course Jalen's there to try to see what's going on, why she's all of a sudden her mood changed and whatnot, and she's ready to go. So then they get up and leave, and then Fallon's crying on his shoulder, and then we go to commercial for dramatic effect, come back from commercial for dramatic effect. Fallon's still crying, and I appreciate Jalen for supporting her, but I'm not gonna lie, I did chuckle when he was just like, it's okay, look at me, hey, look at me, it's okay. Why are we? Look at me. It's okay. I did kind of chuckle, but the support, Jalen, was great. It was great. Kudos to you. But yeah, she was crying. Okay, we understand she felt some type of way about it. We're going to move forward. Ronnie is finally in Las Vegas, and, he's there to try to get to Shamar to surprise her. And then Tony finally gets to Shamari and Ronnie. He's not there yet, but he does make mention that, oh yeah, Bill DeVoe and New Edition is, of course it's more important than this. And, he got to make the money. So Shamari's annoyed with that comment. And I'm just like, okay, Shamari, you're going to be annoyed with anything. Everything makes you upset at this point. Everything makes you upset. You are not someone I want to be hanging out around with at this moment in time. Because I feel like any little thing is going to trigger you and get you upset because you and your feelings about something. What it is, I don't know. But everything irking your nerves. Anywho, so after the event, that's when Ronnie decides to show up, pop up. And Shamar is like, okay, he's here, but the event's already over. Once again, Shamar's just in her feelings this whole episode. And then after that, what doesn't happen? Anything happen? No. The exercise is done. Everybody leaves. And then we cut back to Fallon. She's still crying. Listen, I know she was there, but I low-key already forgot, okay, about that scene. But to the fact that we went back to that scene and she's still crying, I'm like, are we going to wrap this up? Like, production. You already got like 3 shots of her crying. Are we going to, is this going to wrap up? Like, is this almost done? So I guess Jalen said he takes her to go get a drink. So that's when the rest of the couples come to check up on her to see if she's okay and try to give her encouraging words to not let, the haters hate and, let them hate and like not let it trigger her. And she knows who she is, all this stuff. So they kind of no, they don't do a toast. I don't know why in my head I thought they did a toast. But anywho, we then move on to Ronnie and Shamari. They get back to their room, and Shamari immediately confronts him about abandoning her, leaving town. And Ronnie was letting us know in the confessional that he was hoping for a different reaction from his wife when he came back, because he came back early just to be with her, and she don't seem appreciative that he, made the sacrifice to come back early. And they end up having a little bicker, banter back and forth in regards to that, about who's more stubborn. Ronnie brings up budget. Then he says, he could go to bed right now because he's tired. So then Shamari says, okay, go to bed then. And then he gets up and goes to bed. And then that was the end of the episode. Shamari, I just really feel like you're one foot out of the relationship already. I feel honestly like you don't want to be here, but you feel forced to be there. Not necessarily by Ronnie, but just you feel like, it's going to be looked at you some type of way if you decide to leave or something. You're just upset about something. I don't know what it is, but when it's to the point where every little thing takes you off, then you need to have a conversation. Maybe not on camera, but maybe a deep conversation with Ronnie about what the real issue is. Because for me, I just personally feel like the way you kept talking about he left you and abandoned you, so every time he leaves is an issue. You know what he does. You guys got together knowing that he be on the road doing all these shows and stuff. So why are we acting brand new now that you guys are on the couples retreat? I understand that this is the second couples retreat in a row that he just upped and left, but at the same time, I feel like this was already pre-planned before y'all even booked the couples retreat. So I really don't understand to the point where you're upset. Like I can understand, but at the same time, I would feel like I would be happy once my husband came back. So the fact that you're not, I don't know what I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. But you got to figure that out. That's your marriage at the end of the day, not mine. So I could care less what y'all do with y'all marriage. But at the same time, if you're going to make it work, you're going to have to get past this whatever bitterness or anger you're holding towards him for whatever reason. Okay? Because I'm not going to be dealing with you coming back on couples retreat no more, which I don't think they are. But just in the case, because they're the veterans, OGs, as Tony says, we don't need it next season. We don't need it. Okay? That was the end of this episode. There was not really much that happened, but we'll see what happens next week. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh so you can subscribe. And comment, let me know what you thought about this episode. Be easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.